Hey everybody, I am Chris Massey and welcome to the Chris Massey Music Show here on the American Hearts Radio Network. We're coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia tonight. And tonight is episode 17 of season 2 and the 33rd overall episode of the Chris Massey Music Show. We appreciate you watching. Yes, we do. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the news. Al, did you watch the debate the other night?
Bits and pieces.
You watch bits and pieces of it?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you're aware of this, but that debate set a new world record.
Did not know that.
It did. It certainly did. The debate the other time was the first time in American history and television where you had that many mentally impaired people on one broadcast at one time. And it broke the record from the Fox News debate where they had 10 candidates on there. They actually had 11 the other night because Carly Fiorina was on there. And it set a new record. So congratulations, CNN, for holding that record. Now, yesterday, Scott Walker dropped out of the race. And Scott Walker said that the reason he was dropping out was because the Republicans needed to unite to try to defeat not Hillary Clinton and the Democrats, but to defeat Donald Trump. You know, they need to find a way to get him out of there, you know, because he's all kind of problems. But, you know, being a good politician, Scott Walker was lying through his teeth. The real reason you're getting out, Scott, is because you're registering 0 in the polls and nobody will give you any more money. So that's why you're out of there. Now, Dr. Ben Carson was on there. Now, you're kind of a fan of Dr. Carson's, aren't you there, Al? Al, you kind of like him a little bit?
No.
Okay, you don't. Okay, well, that's good. That's going to make this segment go down a little easier then. Okay, it just boggles my mind that somebody can be that smart and that talented and that successful and be such a dumbass. I mean, you know, he unveiled his tax plan the other night, and his plan is right out of the Bible. He thinks that everybody ought to pay 10%. So if you make $500 million, you should pay the same amount percentage-wise as somebody that's paying $50,000. Well, even Ray Charles could see that this deal is only good for the rich people. But you've got all these Republicans out there raising Cain, saying that we we have too many people in this country that aren't paying taxes. Let me tell you something. Jack and Judy homeowner that have 2.3 kids and live in a cul-de-sac in an $150,000 house because of their economic status are not paying any taxes. They are not the problem. The problem is people like Mitt Romney, who's paying 12% on millions of dollars of capital gain taxes. That's what the big problem is here. So you want to take 10% away from these folks? Well, let me tell you what's going to happen. You take 10% away from those folks, and they're going to have to go on government assistance. So then you're just going to be taking the money from them, and then you're just going to be giving it right back to them, and that's really not going to solve anything. Now, the other thing in the debate that I found very interesting was that Donald Trump was able to get Jeb Bush to do something that he has been told over and over and over not to do, and that was to defend his brother George. And he did it the other night, and he made an asinine statement saying that I'll tell you one thing about my brother, he kept us safe. All except for that one day when the planes crashed into the towers. And 4,000 people died. He did not keep us safe that day. But I have a lot of Republican friends that tell me that even though George W. Bush was inaugurated in January, that his presidency really didn't start till September the 12th, which I'm still trying to figure out how that can be. Well, I'm not giving him a pass. I think he was responsible, and I tell you who else thinks he was responsible, and that's George W. Bush. You can see it on his face when the Secret Service walks in and tells him what happened when he's sitting in a kindergarten class listening to the reading of My Pet Goat, which, by the way, he found the story so intriguing that he stayed there for the rest of the reading. That's correct. Our country is under attack, and our commander-in-chief is sitting in a kindergarten class listening to the reading of My Pet Goat with a look on his face like he just took a big shit and he can't find any toilet paper. That's right. I said it. So the next time, Jeb, when somebody is saying something bad about your brother, do what the other candidates are doing and what everybody in America is doing. Agree with him. All right, man, we have got a fantastic show all the way from Hudson, New York. Atlanta musician Keith Christopher is here tonight. Stick around. It's going to be a good one. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a great night out? Are you in the Atlanta, Georgia area? Are you looking to check out some live, awesome music during the week? They have keynote, poker tournaments, horseshoes, and special events. It's all at the Moon Shadow Tavern. That's at 3976 Lawrenceville Highway in Tucker, Georgia. That's the Moon Shadow Tavern. Give them a call, 770-674-2133. Check out their selection of great food, friendly service. Visit their website at msttucker.com. That's www.msttucker.com. Moon Shadow Tavern is a proud sponsor of the Chris Massey Web TV music show on www.americanheartsradio.com. Make sure you told them that American Hearts Radio sent you. Visit their website, check out their great selection of food, appetizers, wings, burgers, sandwiches and wraps, steaks and chicken, salads and sides. Also their drink specials. Live music during the week. Check them out. Give them a call, 770-674-2133.
All right, we're back. I gotta tell you, I'm not crazy about this monitor being right here in front of me like that. I liked it better.
Oh, you liked it better over
I liked it better over
All
here.
right, well, we'll move it.
So, okay. All right. This Saturday night, September 26th at the Moonshadow Tavern in Tucker, you can see me and the rest of the Chris Massey Band. We will be performing there along with our special guest, ELE, a fine young band from Cumming, Georgia, just getting out and doing a little playing around. And my old buddies, Who's Rolling, they'll be closing out the show. That's this Saturday night at the Moonshadow Tavern in Tucker. Cover charge is $10. They got great food, great drinks, and I think, Carol, you're going to be there, right? You're going to be there. All right. Okay, cool. All right. Now, when you talk about the Atlanta music scene from the 1980s and you talk about bands like the Desperate Angels, the Basics, Satellites, the Brains, Cartoon, well, when you talk about those bands, let me tell you something. My next guest, he played with all of them. He also did a stint with Steve Marriott and Humble Pie and God knows who else. He's played all over the world, plays bass, drums, guitar, plays them all well, and we're really very happy to have him here tonight. Would you please welcome to the Chris Massey Music Show, Mr. Keith Christopher. Come on in, my friend.
Chris, how you doing?
I'm good, buddy. Have a seat. Have a seat.
All right.
Have a seat.
Yeah.
So I hope your stay here in Atlanta so far has been pleasant. Places like you remember it was, you know.
Just like I remembered it. Yes.
All right.
Except different. Yeah.
Now, Keith, when we were talking the other night, we were I mentioned you play the drums, you play the bass, and you play the guitar. What is it that you got started on? What you got started on first?
First was drums.
Drums.
Drums, yeah.
Okay.
Drums and a little guitar, but drums, yeah. That was the first thing I started beating on boxes.
Well, and when you're young and you're playing, the drummer is one of the coolest guys in the band.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
So I know. I mean, I grew up watching Mark Krause play when I was in the 8th grade, and that's who I wanted to be. I wanted that hair. I wanted to be able to twirl those sticks. And I've known him for a while now, and he's played with me, and I have no desire to be him anymore. But I did for a long time.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Now you were telling me that the reason you switched to bass was because nobody wanted to play it.
No one wanted to play bass. No, it was guitar or drums.
Mm-hmm.
So they talked me into playing bass and
that's,
being up front with everybody else. So,
and that's kind of been your mainstay. All these years
much.
you've made most of your money playing the bass guitar.
All of it, yeah.
All of it?
There's tons of money, yeah.
I know. I know. We're all us musicians. We're just dripping rich. You know.
It has taken me around the world. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get to that now. So now one of you told me that you did the Underground Atlanta circuit. You played with some of these supper bands, these black soul acts and stuff like that.
Yeah. What was it called? The Scarlett O'Hara's.
Yeah. Okay.
Scarlett O'Hara's. I was a house band in that for a couple of years.
Uh-huh.
Dance band, and then would have people come through like Gladys Knight and
right. Percy Sledge.
Percy Sledge and Matt Ham and stuff, and yeah. Well, I'm not sure what I can tell them. TV show.
You
but-
can tell anything.
Well, anyway, I smoked pot with him in the dressing room.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
yep, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Really good weed. And,
Well, he did kind of have that raspy voice. I guess
Yeah,
that smoking that weed would probably.
yeah, but he had a pantsuit on that he hadn't washed in a while. It was kind of, I didn't know what was more skunky. It was him
Right.
or the weed. But yeah, so yeah,
Well, I
and also they had the TV, they had the commercial for it on Channel 17.
Right.
I mean, it showed the band. It showed me for years. I mean,
Oh,
I came in
okay.
the night they taped it, they started off, and I was in the commercial for it.
Oh, okay.
Like
I
10 years.
I probably saw that commercial when I was sitting up watching Abbott and Costello's Mystery Theater
Yeah,
on
long
Channel
after.
17. You know, with Bill Tush.
Yeah.
You know, okay.
Yeah, we
All right.
had the K-Tel 24 hits.
Yeah, now that's what I want to get to now. Now, when I was a kid, and there's people in the studio that remember this too. They used to come on TV and they used to say, K-Tel Records presents 20 hits by the original artist, and all these songs that were being played on the radio. And I would get them, those albums, and I would bring them home and I would listen to them. And I was the only one in my neighborhood that was kind of onto it. I'd be like, something quite ain't right about this. Either the tempo or the vocal or the guitar lead isn't as good. And so I'm going to let you take it and tell us about the original artists that were playing on K-Tel Records.
That was the name of our band.
So
Was the name of the band. And we would do. I was involved for a short time, and Rick Hinkle was in the night band. But at Melody Recording Studios, they had this scam going where you get these players come in and record the current hits, just
Right.
like the record,
right.
and call the band the original artist. So when you sold the record, it was by the original artist, but it wasn't.
Now and
It was the band, the original artist.
and these albums were cut here in Atlanta, right?
The studio turned into Web 4 later on.
Okay.
There was that place, yeah.
All right. Now
But that was
Wow.
and they got
That was good
away
school.
with this for how long?
until they didn't. And then I remember people were like grabbing headphones and they're coming. So it was swiping stuff.
But they sold a lot of records before they did that.
Yeah, and the guy was named Tom Wright. He was a he was a gun toter, ex-lawyer, or it was on the force. Now I think they fired him for being trigger happy,
I got you.
and he always had a gun on him. So he was in charge of that. But Rick Hinkle would know more about that. He was a big part of that. If you ever have Rick Hinkle on here, but. I wish I had some tracks to play. You probably would recognize them.
You probably could find some of
You
them.
probably recognize them.
Now later on after that, you played in a great original band.
And plus, I was like 19 years old, so it was really good school to be in the studio that much.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, like
I'm
10
sure, and probably
10.
good money too.
And it wasn't bad, no.
Yeah. Okay. So in your 20s, you get together with Rick Richards and Tommy Rivers
Yeah, I met Rick at the Battle of the Bands when we were 15.
and
or
Freddie
16.
Griffith.
Oh yeah, then later on we did
Okay.
The
And Rick
Desperate.
was coming out of a band called Raggedy Ann with Dave
Yeah.
Ridrick. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you guys were the Desperate Angels,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys were very popular. Russell Shaw. Either he liked you guys a lot, or you guys were buying him a lot of drinks. I don't know which one it was, but he
Yeah.
always had a lot of good things to say about you guys.
Really?
In the creative loafing, he did.
Oh, that guy.
He
yeah.
did. He did. The music menu, yeah. You know.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
guy. Yeah,
He
yeah, he did. Yeah, just somebody was doing something.
Yeah,
for him.
he
I don't
did.
know.
He didn't care for the Samurai Catfish at all. They did something
Well, the name.
to really piss him off. In fact, they used to read their reviews on stage at C.W. Shaw's, something not just to get a kick out of it. But you guys were a really good band. I had a single that you guys cut, and I understand you actually played the bass and the drums on that cut. Is that correct?
But yeah, I did. Yeah. Freddie just decided to go to L.A. or something and didn't tell anybody.
I got you.
And we had the studio booked, and we just went in and cut a couple of tracks. Yeah, with
Okay.
bass and drums. I think it was called Make Ends Meet or something.
Right.
Something clever.
Yeah. And now, by the time the Desperate Angels split, the Samurai Catfish splits, and Mark and Brendan from the Catfish get together with you and Rick, and y'all have a little band called the Famous Unknowns.
Oh yeah.
And this is kind of the this kind of happens before the satellites.
Yeah.
It was kind
I
of the
think so.
prerequisite to that. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure which came first.
Well, I know the famous unknowns were first because I had David Michelson on here, and
he wouldn't know.
and David had a lot of stuff written down when he was on the show.
We should call him.
And David, to hear David tell it, he says that the famous unknowns were booked for a gig at the Bistro, and Mark couldn't make it, Krause couldn't show,
Right.
so you've been jamming with Dan and Rick and David,
Yeah.
and you guys went over there and did the gig. And
That sounds reasonable. Yeah.
And he said that was the first satellite show. So.
Okay, well, let's go with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But you were there.
Yes, I think so.
Oh,
yeah. I think that was a big part of it. They even used my name in the name of the band.
I remember seeing that. Now,
it was Keith and the Satellites.
that's right. And you so during this time, you leave the Satellites. You do a stint with the Brains, with Rick Price and
Yes.
Morrow and Tom Gray.
Yes.
And y'all cut that great video, "Dancing Under the Streetlights,"
Which we don't have today.
which we
so-
do not have, and I apologize for that. But I'll tell you what, I'll show it when you're not here. I'll show it some nights.
It's a good one.
It is, and it's on the 688 show.
the
That's what we
6.
close with. And that video really captures, to me, what the
Yeah.
Atlanta music scene was like back
Yeah, I
in
mean, we
those
did it.
days.
We did it at 688. You know, the drums on top of the
Right.
the roof and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was.
Now, then you get a call from or I don't know if he called you, but you get a gig with Steve Marriott and Humble Pie.
Yeah. Well, he came to Hedges.
Right. And he was living in Atlanta, correct?
He married a girl and was living in Noonan or somewhere.
Right.
But he came in to sit in with us, and then that would be the Satellites. So I'm not sure. Brains, Satellites, Steve Marriott.
Okay.
What does it say on your notes?
Well,
Well, anyway, okay, we'll just say
We'll just say
whatever.
it happened all somewhere between
need to call
19.
somebody, yeah.
It all happened somewhere between 1980 and 1986.
I believe so. Yes.
So,
That's close.
that's all
enough.
kind of a blur to everybody
It's a
from
blur.
that
So
time.
anyway,
Okay.
he came in and I think I introduced him as Peter Frampton.
Which I'm sure he really appreciated.
He told me to fuck off, you right stupid cunts.
He never really did get over that Frampton Comes Alive record, did he?
and then he asked me to audition for the band. Yeah.
Okay. And so you guys, you out on the road. I mean, you're talking about a rock legend that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean,
Yeah, he should be. I mean, yeah.
he should be in there. You know, if not just Humble Pie, but the Small Faces and
Yeah.
and all the stuff that he's done. And you guys went on the road with Quiet Riot and some other big bands at that time.
Yeah, we did like the whole stadium tours and stuff like that.
Oh,
you know.
wow,
It
big
was
arenas
good.
and stuff.
Big arenas, you know.
Yeah.
It was great.
Tour
man.
bus, the whole
Tour bus.
the whole 9 yards, huh?
You know, blowing the speakers out in the tour bus.
Food backstage and lots of girls and all that kind of stuff.
There's all kind of stuff backstage. They were blow up animals and everything.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah. All right. So
Especially sheep. Sheep would
Sheep.
seem to be a.
now when the Humble Pie gig came to an end, I'm just guessing here now, okay, on this timeline.
Well, there's a story about that, but it's in the book. There's actually a book with me in it.
Oh, the Atlanta years.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me about? Okay. All right.
And it's also like live recordings, too.
Okay. Now, somewhere along the line, you start dating Carlene Carter Cash. Is that correct? Is that after
Yes.
Humble Pie?
Yes.
Okay. Carlene Carter Cash, and for those of you who don't know, that is June Carter's daughter. And that is the June Carter that is married to Johnny Cash. So
She's Carl Smith and June.
now Carl Smith was a race car driver, correct?
No, he was like #1 country singer, crooner guy.
Okay, that's right. Well,
Big
you know,
time.
I was trying to remember because in Walk the Line, I've seen the movie, and she gets divorced like 2 or 3 times.
Does she?
Yeah. And at one time, she's dating she marries a stock car racer. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he would always dig up the backyard to put in a pool and never would.
Right.
Then
So-
they'd fill it back up, and then he'd
So,
bring it back up.
so you're dating Johnny Cash's stepdaughter, okay? So,
Yes.
so now, and you're living in Nashville. That's right.
Yeah, we were living in Mother Maybell's house.
Mother Maybell's house. Okay, and this is like a holy grail material right
This
here
is-
where you're
it was
living, right?
Surreal. It was extremely surreal.
I mean, all the guys from Sun Records used to come over there and hang out. Is that right? Elvis.
That
and-
was a place that they would hang out in the basement. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I think in the bedroom there was still a big grease spot on the floor where Elvis's head hit the ground when Carl Smith punched him out.
Okay. Now,
Because he was asleep in June's bed.
I got you. I see. Now, because you're dating her, of course, when the holidays come, she has to go home for the holidays. So you have been to Thanksgivings and Christmases at Johnny and June's house. Is that correct?
Yeah, they were great. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Now,
that was something.
now you told me that you guys had to exchange presents, and you told me
Yeah.
about an interesting gift that you gave June Carter for Christmas one year. Would you like to share that with everybody out there in TV land?
Got him.
Well, them, I guess so.
I mean, if you don't want to, we can move on to something.
Damn.
something
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to get her. I mean,
you didn't know what to get. And look, it's a great gift for any
she had-
middle-aged woman. I think would appreciate it.
She had plenty of water for crystals, you know.
Right.
And, you know, Rodney Crowell was there. with
So you
his
gave her a
wife,
gut. So you
Roseanne.
gave her a gut buster for Christmas. Is
Yeah, I
that
gave her a
correct?
gut buster. Yes.
And-
Which
and
she loved it.
she loved it. Okay,
Yeah, she
well,
loved
that-
it, and it became the joke. You know, she's a comedian, and so she was. And a gut buster.
The gut buster is
a
an exercise thing to. The gift insinuates you need to lose some weight.
It's a thigh master thing, but you kind of.
That's right.
It's a
That-
thing that you squeeze.
Johnny probably appreciated you giving it to her.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken a few people to Johnny and June's house. I took Van Temple to Johnny Cash's house.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be on the next show. I have to ask him about
He
that.
actually scared June to death once in there. He picked up this guitar that was.
Johnny Cash's guitar.
He picked up Johnny Cash's guitar in June's bedroom or something that no one touches. It's like from 1871 or something. I don't
Right.
know. And
What he wrote, "Walk the Line."
you know,
on,
something.
probably.
I mean, Van just picked it right up. Was going up. Figure out what song he started singing. And June.
Now, so
What?
Dropped it.
Oh, he
Knocked it over.
knocked it over.
So let me get this straight now. So like you and Carlene are just like sitting around on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And did like would they just ever like call you up on the phone and say they're coming over? Or
Yeah,
something
but
like
yeah,
that?
they would come over and like they'd have one of their grandkids, and Johnny would. I would answer the phone and you know like, hey, this is Johnny, guys. I'm gonna come over for a barbecue or something. You know, that's
So
not a good
it
impression.
never was John or Johnny. It was always Johnny Cash.
Hello, this is Johnny Cash. What do you think about me and June bringing some kids over for a barbecue? I've never made Bloody Mary so fast in my life.
Now I asked you if the holidays there was kind of a normal thing, but you said it was normal for them, but it was kind of hard to swallow.
It was hard, really rough. Yeah, I was just a nervous wreck. You know, and one time I was Helen, the Carter sisters used to come over, and Helen came over. Mm-hmm. You know, since Helen, Anita, and June, and Mother Maybell was the Carter family, and Helen was over there. And the first thing I learned on guitar was Wildwood Flower.
Right.
And I told Carlene that story, and she decided to tell Helen the story and she said, "Oh, really?" She said, "Play it for me." And so, played Wildwood Flower for Helen,
Right.
and then finished it like you're supposed to. And she went, "Oh no, honey, that ain't the way it goes." and then she just took it away from me and just played it. I was like, "Stop it, I'm fainting."
Like playing the Star Spangled Banner in front of Jimi Hendrix or something.
It was one of those I wish everyone I knew was there at the same time. It was like unbelievable.
Now later on, and we're gonna move way ahead here, Keith. You played on Dan Baird's.
Was that you tapping me already?
No, it was not. My hands are on the table. So you're doing fine.
Okay.
All right.
So what does that mean when you get patted?
That means you're doing fine.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, okay.
When you're kidding me means hurry up.
That's right.
Okay.
You played on Dan Baird Left the Satellites, and he did a solo record that you played on, and Morrow played on, and Brendan played and produced. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah,
and this is before Brendan became a big producer. Is it? Well, I guess he'd done some things on the Verge.
Yeah, he was right.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about that. I told you that I saw them on the David Letterman show, but I didn't see you and Morrow on,
no, the asshole.
on that show.
No, we had to watch it on TV too.
Well, I mean, Paul Schaefer may have a rule. You know, he kind of hogs the stage up there anyway.
The bass player didn't play the bass part right.
Is that right?
No, which was kind of.
Serves Dan right.
Well, yeah, that was kind of rewarding. Like, oh, he didn't. But I was looking forward to hearing Willie play the bass part, and they fucked it up.
So Dan Baird forms Homemade Sin, and you do a stint with these guys.
We did a thing in there too called the Yahoos.
That's right.
Which is one of my favorite bands.
Okay.
We did 2 CDs with Eric Amble and Terry Anderson, who
wrote Battleship Chains.
That was on. Yeah, that was on.
Okay.
And also wrote "I Love You." Period. That was on the solo record.
Wow. Okay. All right. So now Dan has been making a living playing Europe the last few years, and well, that and the mailbox money he gets from Keep Your Hands to Yourself, I'm sure, is a pretty big supplement for that as well, I would think. But so you did a lot of playing in Europe, huh?
Where's the camera at? Is it over here?
It's right here.
Oh, there I am, right there.
Yeah, but the camera's right there.
Oh, but that's right where Van is. I can't look over there. It's like I'm talking to Van. And then, when I was 12, I say, how about those Romans?
So you played all over Europe and with Dan.
Yeah, for many years. Yeah, we did 2 CDs.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. While I got you here, I got a cut of you guys playing a festival over there in Sweden.
I know it's the only video you got is that.
That's right. I apologize. Our archives is not very big.
If I'd known, I'd swear.
Can we roll that video of Dan Baird featuring Keith Christopher on the bass?
Well, I got a little change in my pockets, going shing-a-lang-a-lang. Wanna call you up on telephone, baby. They wants to give you a ring, but each time we talk, I get the same old thing. Always no huggy, no kissy until I get a wedding ring. But honey, my baby, you don't put my love upon no shelf. She said, don't hand me no lies and keep your hands to yourself. Baby, why you won't see me as a way? You know, I'm still your lover boy. I still feel the same way. That's when she told me the story. Got free milk and a down. I said, no huggy, no kissy until I get a bang down. My honey, my baby, put my love up on no shelf. She said, don't hand me no lies and keep your hands to yourself.
We're back with Keith Christopher.
No, that's...
Keith, I also want to mention that Keith did a stint also playing with Daryl Rhodes and the High Vishnu Orchestra. Is that correct?
Yes.
You were part of that gypsy caravan where you had 25 people staying in one hotel room playing colleges everywhere. And you guys did a stint on the James Brown Future Shop. show?
That was the best, yeah, and that was,
Yeah.
and it's on YouTube. You can see it.
Well, I had to mention that because Daryl gets upset if you know, everybody in Atlanta's played with Daryl.
I
so,
know.
So it's just safe to say that
I
you
was
played
in
with
the-
Daryl, whether you did
I
or you
was in
didn't.
the original lineup.
The original
I was
lineup.
okay, so we can move on. But hey, Daryl, thank you.
So Keith Christopher, I know you're living in New York, in Hudson, New York. And
Just
so
moved from the
what
city.
are you up to these days? What you doing?
Oh, just living in Hudson, where it's very nice country, part of the country, and just the usual, just doing the sideman stuff, some recording.
Right.
I got to record, just recording. I do work with different producers, Jay Newland, which is kind of a Grammy Award-winning dude, and Roscoe Amble, just kind of on call for basic.
I got you.
Just that, basically that, and I go to the city and play with a couple, like once a month and do work.
Okay.
And so I get to do the country life and the city life.
So
up
if the gig was right and the money was right, would you go back out on the road for an extended period of time, or those days kind of gone?
if the condition was right, yeah. If I like the music, if the songwriting is good, blah blah blah, if it's a good song, if it's good stuff and nice people, yeah,
Okay.
probably would.
All right. Okay.
I think, in fact, I am. I just started doing some gigs with Aaron Lee Tajan, who's a brilliant songwriter, singer, and prolific as hell. He writes all the time. We just did Americana week in Nashville last week.
Oh, okay. Great.
I think there's some YouTube stuff of Aaron Lee Tajan. And
Well,
friends.
what you need to do is when you get back, you need to send me all the videos that you have.
I thought you had them.
And the next time I have a guest on the show, I'll just talk to them and I'll show your stuff.
But okay. I was grossly misinformed. But I thought you would have all these clips.
Well,
I wouldn't have to talk at all.
Well, when the office is in Jacksonville and I'm up here, it's not as easy as me.
Yeah.
Walking in and
No, it's been great
taking
fun.
care
I
of it.
appreciate you.
What I'll do is when I get Rick Richards on the show, when I'm interviewing him,
that'll be
I'll show
today.
Keith Christopher videos while Rick's on the show. He probably won't even mind.
He wouldn't notice. No, I'm just kidding, Rick.
Keith, thank you
See
so
you
much
later.
for being on the
Thanks,
show.
Chris.
Keith Christopher, everybody. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, this is Johnny Van Zandt from Leonard Skinner. My cousin Jimmy Van Zandt's in a tight spot. He needs a liver transplant. So we're asking for anybody who has a nickel, a dime, a penny, whatever the heck you want, that's appreciated, to send it to the Jimmy Van Zandt Gift of Life Charity at 1808 Clinch Place, Old Hickory, Tennessee, 37138. I'm reading this, by the way. And you can also give to www.jimmyvanzandtgiftoflifecharity.com. So anyway, God bless you guys. Hope to see you out on the road. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever it is. God bless you.
Hi, I'm Van Temple.
And I'm Keith Christopher.
And I'm not Keith Christopher or Van Temple. And you're watching the Chris Massey Music Show. All right, we're back. We're back. Okay. For being a guest on the Chris Massey Music Show, my guest, Keith Christopher, will receive a 6-month supply of rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat, and a case of turtle wax. That's right, Keith. Just see Ray, the security guard downstairs, and he will get you your door prizes. On the next Chris Massey Music Show, we will have Van Temple from the producers. So until then, like I always say, always love your woman. Take life as it comes, and when you get the chance, have too much fun. We'll see you next time.